I'm looking at my rendering and I notice that I can't see the trim around the door. So I went to Copilot and I said, Revit, can't see trim in 3D. And he says, if you're having trouble seeing trim in 3D, few things. So go to the View tab and click on Visibility Graphics, ensure that the category, and I did that, and then the detail level, make sure that the detail level in your 3D view is set to medium or fine. And I did that. And well, I also did this to reveal, click on the reveal hidden elements light bulb, which I did, and that didn't solve it, but the detail level did. So when I went back into Revit and simply changed my detail level to fine, you can see the trim around the door, which is what I wanted to see, which is good. And then I was looking at this guy and I thought, let's make it a little bit cooler, edit in place. I want to do it from the first floor. And I thought, let's just take this guy, edit the extrusion, and let's try wireframe, because I wanted to see the opening, because I want to bring this guy out a little farther and then back. I'll break this and then trim extend and finish. Let's go back and look at that in 3D. That was the door. But let's look at what I did in 3D. Yeah, that might look a little cooler to have a little shelf here. I'm thinking maybe let's round it out. Edit extrusion. We'll go to the first floor and let's make a curve there instead of a square. Just playing around, having fun. Back to the 3D view. That might be cooler. Maybe it should extend a little farther out. So let's edit in place again. We'll go back to the first floor. I think maybe we'll edit the extrusion and let's just move this 1 inch, not 2 inches, just to see what it looks like. And we'll move this one this way, 2 inches. Okay, let's finish that. Go back and look at it in 3D. I think I like it a little bit better. Maybe we can put something on there. Well, let's finish. Say, okay. I'm just trying to do something cool here with extrusions. And then we'll go back. Now we'll try to do it here. Architecture. We're looking for a component. Do I have a vase? V-A-S-E, yes I do. Vase with flowers in it. Let's go to the first floor and see if I can, there we go. Spin it around like that. Right there. Let's go back and look at the 3D and see where we actually put it. And we can raise it up now. So that is probably 32 inches. Yeah, look at that. And something's weird there. I don't know what's going on there. We'll change this back to realistic. I'm not sure what happened there. It kind of, when I put that in, look what happened there. Let's go to consistent colors. It's still there. Okay. ZE. Let's make sure we're going to render it, but let's make sure the interior lights are on, sun and artificial. And then we'll render that in the cloud and see how that looks. And we'll start rendering. So it's not finding an image, but we'll say that's all right. Whatever Revit can't find it, it will just replace with another standard image. So we're okay there. And that's what it looks like when it renders. So the dust looks a little cooler. Got some flowers on there. We could put a computer on there. What I was most concerned about was this frame around the door. I wanted to see that. We still need to put a base molding in, which is an extrusion and a sweep. And maybe we'll put some crown molding up across the top. But I thought the pattern on the wallpaper was not great. So let's see if we can modify that. So we'll go to Manage Materials. And there's our wallpaper. We'll go to Appearance. And let's see if we click on this picture, we can give a scale to that. So right now it's a foot by a foot, but if we made it wider, let's see what we can do here to make that a little bit wider. Instead of being the sample size being a foot by a foot, let's make it 5 feet. But no, 5 feet by 5 feet. That will expand it substantially. We'll apply that and say okay. And let's go back to realistic. And we should have wider squares now, which would be 5 feet wide by 5 feet tall. Yeah, that's starting to look more like wallpaper would look like. And that's what it looks like with a bigger wallpaper, which looks better. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to have some more fun with that. So let's keep going. Let's go to the floor plan. And there's a section. Now I want to look at this wall and I can see the dash line there isn't quite going to show me that well. So I'll just move the section back a little bit. Go to view. And then I want to put some bookshelves in. So I want to make them architecture, component, model in place. It's always a good idea to save the project. You'll never be sorry that you did not, that you did, but you might be sorry that you did not. So we'll put it in casework continual, and let's see what the number 20. Okay, I could call it bookshelf, not necessary. I want to do an extrusion, and we need to pick a plane for the extrusion to start with, and I want it to be this wall. Let's hit the tab key and see if it picks that wall, and look at that, it did. Okay, so that's going to be the start point. Let's just draw a rectangle that goes up to here. Doesn't quite line up there, so I'll push it over there. And I want this to go, I want this rectangle to go down to the floor, so I'm going to pull it all the way down to there. And now how deep do we want it to be? Well, let's see. We want it to start at 0, which would be the wall. And then I think bookshelf should be 14 inches. And we don't want it to be green marble. Let's make it cherry. So CHERRY. There it is. Okay. I'll finish it. And let's just look at what we did. 3D view. Not this one. This is the door family. I just was looking at it. Let's look at it here. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, there's my bookshelf. It sticks out now. Let's go back to that section and let's edit in place. And this time, let's make some void forms. Void extrusion. We'll pick a plane. We'll say this guy. And now let's draw some we're going to draw some. I don't know if I can snap. No, I can't, but I can grab this guy and snap to there, and grab this guy and snap. Oops. I'm going to snap to there. Okay. Now, it starts at 0. No, we're going to start it at 3/4 of an inch away from the wall so that there is a piece of wood on the back. It doesn't matter how far out it comes. And then we'll say cut. We're going to cut. That didn't work. Let's look at it in 3D and see what I did. Maybe I didn't put the inch symbol, so it's 3/4 of a foot. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's there. So we'll go back to the first floor and we'll grab that other section. And it doesn't, I don't know if it'll let us. Nope, it's not. So back to the 3D view. I was expecting to see my void. So I've made a mistake there somehow. It's good. It's always all right to show the mistakes because a lot of times when you're working, you make that too. So back to here, edit in place, create a void form, void extrusion. We have to pick that plane again. We're going to pick this guy. Oh, that's the face of it, maybe. Okay, so we want this to go back minus 13.25 inches, and it can come out in front of it. That's okay. Let's see what happens now. Continue. We've created the void form. Guess it's telling me it's not cutting anything, so let's see if we can see that void shape in the 3D view, which will graphically show what I drew as opposed to what I thought I drew, and I'm still not seeing it. All right, so create. No, it's not letting us do that either. All right, so something's wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but this might be helpful. In the future, once we figure out what I did wrong, I want to create a void form, void extrusion, and we can pick this plane, which is okay. And then I'm going to say minus 100 feet plus 100 feet. So we have a very deep void. Let's see what happens if we come to here and to there. Say okay. Now we can see it. Looks like we might want to pull it in some more. And we'll cut. Say okay. And let's see what we did now. Yep, I got my cut in there, but don't like what I'm seeing. Let's shift it around a little bit. No, we can't do it. Because I don't want to cut through the side of it. Here it looks like it's all right, but here it looks like we cut the side of it. So we'll go back to the first floor. Put a little camera in there on this side. And is there a hole? Yeah, there is. Look at that. There is a hole. Edit in place. This void. Okay. So we'll go back to side, and this void, it looks like it's okay. Let's go back and look at that 3D view again. It's still, so there's another void in there. Let's see if we can delete that one and keep this one. That's why we were seeing the side view, because it was cutting. All right. We were seeing through the side because that second void was cutting it. Let's take a look. All right, so now I got a bookshelf there. All right, I'm going to add some more. Back to SS. Let's see. Edit in place. If I can grab that, I'm going to try and copy it down to here. To here. We'll just see if this will work. To here. This one, I want to align these edges because I moved it. Oops. I moved it too far. So we want to align here and here. And let's say cut. And let's say okay and see what happened. I think we're good. Yeah. So now I have my bookshelf there. This could be solid down at the bottom. That looks pretty good. ZE to zoom extents. I have a bookcase, but that, okay, so let's go back to the first floor now and grab this section and go through here. I'm gonna flip it. I just like it. I like my sections to look in that direction. Go to view. And let's see what happens if we edit in place. Yep. Those are my voids. So I want to pull that back. Let's grab them all and pull them back, and then we'll be more precise with it once we can zoom in a little bit closer. That I want a board or a wood finish at the back of the, so we can put in a reference plane, and we want it to be 3/4 of an inch off of the face of the gypsum board. There we go. So that's where I'm going to extend. Let's go back to the 3D view. Let's go back to that other section. I lost my voids. I see them there. There we go. So I need to grab this end and just drag it over to that 3/4 inch offset, which I'm showing with a reference plane. The only reason I'm doing this, I don't want my void to cut through the wood completely so that we see the wall behind it. That's better. And then we'll look at it in 3D. And we'll do consistent colors. And yeah, see, I wanted my bookshelf to have some wood panel behind it. So let's save that. And here we go. And so that's what it looks like now. I had a desk with some bookshelves. I could put books in there, really make it look cool. But I was thinking maybe a little bracket here in stainless steel. So let's go back to Revit. Let's go to the first floor. I want to put a reference plane and I want to pick the center. If I type SC, that will find the center of that circle and snap to it. And then I'm going to make the stainless steel 2 inches thick. So I want to copy this 1 inch this way. And I want to move this 1 inch this way. So I have a reference plane. Let's call this the back. And we'll call this the front, just so I have the ability to reference that. Then we gotta move this section over a little bit more. Point of view. And I just want to architecture component model in place. Still using casework. And I'm going to do an extrusion, so it'll say pick a plane. And I'm going to set my back as my reference plane. Okay. So my extrusion is going to start at 0 and it's going to come out 2 inches. And let's make it stainless steel this time. I could type stainless steel, but it might not be correct in terms of the spelling or the space between stainless and steel or something. So stainless steel. Let's get a preview of it. I wanted it shiny, so we'll say okay. And then I'm just going to draw the back of it. Will come down like this, maybe over 2 inches. And then let's draw this guy. We're going to draw this. Should snap to the end. There's my first piece. And let's draw another one from here to here. And yeah, let's make it go like that. Right? And then we'll just draw a line straight up from the quadrant of that. And let's go up a little bit higher. And then I'm not sure. Maybe we can just send it back like that. And then we'll draw our last line from here to here. I got an error message. I'm going to isolate the category just to see what it looks like so that we can see as a problem. We'll let those two lines. Maybe we should pull this down a little bit more. Definitely got to trim extend these two. I'm not real crazy about that shape. We'll put it back up there. Still don't really like this shape. Let's put a circle in there. SC will get the center of that circle. And I'm going to use the keyboard keys just to get it over like that. I don't like it. I'm going to reset the temporary hide. And maybe do something like that. I still don't like that either. What about like this? I don't like that either. Nope. I don't know what to do here to make it look better. Let's, I don't think that's any better. So we'll just say okay. And it's telling me that there's a problem, so we'll continue. I'm going to isolate the category. And then I'm going to say okay again. And it might show me, it looks like there's a problem here and here. So let's delete this line. There's two there. And then let's hit okay. And it went away. So that means it's all right. So we'll finish it up. We'll go back to our 3D view. And I definitely don't particularly like that. And that's what it looks like when you render it. I don't really like that shape, but you can see I made it stainless steel and I created a shape with a thickness. This is an extrusion, just like this is an extrusion, just like this is an extrusion with voids in it. When we did our countertops, that was an extrusion too.